Growing. What's going on, guys? Everybody. Oh shit! Wait. What's going on, guys? We're with the SoaR gang. We're actually going to be answering your guys' questions. Anything you guys want to know, we're gonna answer it. So we got my boy
Young Dre,
Big E,
Big Daddy Mac, Drew Photo,
Dylan, and Shifty. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. That's simple.
All right, we got the questions right here. We're just going to start it off. The first question, if you weren't doing this for a living, what would you be doing?
That's a good one.
This is a tough one.
That is
for me, honestly, I have no idea because I didn't know what I was going to do before my YouTube took off personally. And I know I would still be in college. I would just be about to graduate. And yeah, I would not know at all. I don't know if you guys want to chip in.
What were you like doing as a job before? You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, I was working at a place called Big Lots. Just
Hey, Big Lots. Yeah, my dad loves that place.
I was working at Big Lots.
Clutch.
Yeah, I was moving furniture. I was going to college full time, and then I would stream at night. So I really never slept. So luckily, it worked out for me. Luckily, but I don't know if y'all want to answer on that one.
I'll answer real quick.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking, honestly, I'd probably still stick with something like video related because of doing like all the montage stuff back in the day, like having to learn all the video editing on your own as like a 15-year-old. It's crazy to think about it now, but I'd probably try and stick something with like the video editing creative side. I know I do the photo stuff now, but probably be strictly video editing.
For sure. I mean, yeah, I can answer it. So for me, I would be an actor, right? I would be acting. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was actually like going to college and like studying like drama and like theater and stuff like that before streaming. Yeah, and I always wanted to be like on the big screen and like doing that shit. Yeah. And I would love to, low key. I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to, dead ass.
My whole dream growing up too was also being an actor.
Yeah, and just be up there. Like I looked up to like Leonardo, obviously.
Oh,
He's
of
the
course.
most handsome man alive.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? Denzel Washington.
Dre wanted to be at the front of the boat.
Pause, yeah. But yeah, I wanted to do that one, be an actor.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I definitely would have graduated college by this point, and I would have been probably an editor for the local news. Not by choice, but because my fucking school was dog shit, and everything they were teaching me, I already taught myself on the internet. So did a year of that, dropped out, SoaR House, we're here now.
Yeah.
Magic.
I'd probably be a creator, just
Always.
like behind the scenes, just designing, photo, video. Like I think I think I will always be like, if I don't want to be a face of something, like I just always want to create something. I want like challenge myself.
Type shit, yeah.
I have something new to do.
No, for sure. For sure.
Did you all go through? I didn't go. Yeah. For me, it's actually really, really crazy to hear this. Like, I feel like most people have all had jobs before they like started making money off YouTube and everything. For me, I started doing this like back in 2008, and I always played video games my whole life, and it started picking up for me right away in 2011 when I like.
Lucky motherfucker. I wish.
I was probably 15 at the time, and I didn't have a job yet. I didn't even have a job yet, and I started making money off of this when I was 15, and my mom was like sketched out, like, what are you making this money from? Is this real? Like, is this real? You know,
the first year that I like did this, I uploaded every day. I get off work at like 1 to 2 o'clock, come straight home, render, because it took so long to render. I'd render my video that I recorded the last night, get it uploaded to YouTube, make it public. That shit took like 3-4 hours. Because like machines didn't render like they do.
No, yeah, no,
Upload
for sure.
speeds, and then I would record everything throughout that evening till about midnight. And then I would wake up about 4:30 in the morning, go back to work, and do it all over again the next day for a whole year.
I'm talking like 2-3 hour render times.
Yeah,
4 gigabytes of RAM. What I've learned from this question, if you were sold a friend request by SoaR Mac in 2013, you may be entitled to a class action lawsuit.
Listen. What got you into gaming? That could go early.
I'll start it off if you don't want to.
I have, So gaming. What started for me was, I'm a little old, I guess nowadays. Was the Sega Genesis was my first like console. So Sonic the Hedgehog, that was what got me into gaming. And then pretty much ever since then, it was just like upgrading every year to the N64, to the GameCube, PlayStation 2, you know, Smash Bros, Spyro, all those old games, and then it eventually led to Call of Duty on Xbox, and then hooked.
Hooked.
Yeah, Dylan's got it.
got a mic.
Yeah.
What got you into gaming, bro?
Well, I'm gonna go off of what he said. Mine was COD 4. Period.
Yeah.
It was COD 4. I was sitting in big game room and I had to share my Xbox with my dad, with my brother. So I would play as much as I wanted to, but it wasn't enough. But yeah, it had to be COD 4. That's my game.
I like that answer. Good answer. Good
Halo 1 on PC. That's your boys right there. No, I was playing the
early PC game.
Yo, actually, that's the first time I ever got in, like, not like real trouble, but like trouble that got back to my parents. Was I would go over to my boy Alex's house, and he had Halo 1 on PC. He had 2 PCs. His dad was like a computer whiz, so he had all this. So he'd get on a PC, and I get on a PC, and we would play each other just through Ethernet, like a home LAN, and we would run that. And I said, the first time I ever dropped the word, well, fuck. I was like 10 years old, like freaking the fuck out. And his mom came in, and like she was always never home. So like I just thought like, oh, you just don't have a mom, so that's cool. And like no one's here, and like people are going, you and your brothers and sisters go crazy. So like I could just say what I want. So I'm like acting a fool, like I'm driving a Warthog on Blood Gulch, like breaking shit. And then like his mom comes in with like the fire of God in her, and like just, what the fuck? Like you can't talk like that in my house. Literally dragged me by my shirt collar home to my mom, and I got in a lot of trouble. And then like 4 years later, I mowed enough lawns, I got Xbox 360, I got Halo 3. And then that did the thing. So shouts out to Bungie. I used to want to work for you, but now we're on the internet, so let's go.
My fault, my
I
bad.
said fuck you. I
My
said fuck
bad.
you before that. You're the one that got shit. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Did you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. So like, I guess the games that got me into gaming, like I definitely had like a Sega Genesis growing up and shit like that. I used to play like Judge Dredd, right? I used to play like Sonic, all that shit. Yeah. But I think like what really got me into it, bro, was like PS2 and like during that era, bro. I used to play like Kingdom Hearts. I used to play like a whole bunch of games on that. But my first real game was definitely Halo 3, bro. Halo 3 was my shit. Like I remember like I begged my parents for Xbox Gold, like the actual membership, and they never wanted to get it for me. They're like, no, you can't play online with strangers. Like it's not safe for you. You can't do it. I'm like, please, like just once, like let me try it. And they're like, all right, bet. And they got me like the little 3-month card, bro. And ever since then, I just kept going, bro. Yeah, it was so lit, bro. But I also played Ratchet and Clank a lot, dude. With my it was so fun. Jake and Dexter, bro, all that shit. Yeah, Jack and Dexter. Really?
For the longest time, it was like you can't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
Where you can hear it through the TV.
Oh yeah. You have to mute everyone. Yeah. No, I feel you. It really was. Yeah, I mean even now, but I mean we're a little bit smarter. Yeah.
I had games like growing up. Like my parents were always just like, "Oh, we'll get you a game, so that way you do that." But I was always an outside kid. I don't think I really got into gaming because I had Segas and everything, that PlayStations and stuff, but they just sat there, collected dust. But then like when I was in my 20s, I was like kind of getting into some trouble. I'm like, I need like a different outlet. Like this is stupid going out all the time. After I got in some big trouble legally, I was like, okay, I got to tone it back. My friends were like, dude, get a PlayStation 3. And MW2 just came out. So I was like, okay, I'll test it. I'll buy it. It's probably just going to get, I was hooked. Yeah. MW2 hooked me. And then Black Ops 1 came out. I'm like, I'm going to take gaming a little bit more serious. And then I looked up a tutorial for some reason one day about Black Ops. And I found an Agony edit. And it was over. It was like Agony 100%. One of his edits, 100% content in itself perpetuated me into gaming. Like I liked gaming, but I didn't know how to apply it to be something, I guess, worth my time. And then when I see now, I'm like, dude, this is so much more fun. Yeah. Like this is what I want to do. So it was like a buildup of like, oh, okay, like I don't just like gaming. Like I like gaming for a reason, you know, like an objective overall.
For me, I mean, I think I was just watching Pokemon when I was younger. Like that's just been on TV forever. You know what I mean? I was getting the trading cards, and like one day, my mom, I think she just surprised me with a Game Boy and like Pokemon Yellow. I was probably like 6-7 years old, and from that, like I kept upgrading the games. I kept upgrading the Game Boys, and I got into consoles. I had a Nintendo 64, and then I got like Guitar Hero and shit. Like,
So you were like avid gamer.
I have never dropped playing video games my whole life.
All variety too.
I was in that constant cycle of just like upgrading. I would do it the shit way though, which I hate because I got rid of all my old games. I would go to GameStop, trade something good, and then get the new shit. You know, like, so I'm losing everything.
It's funny, like I hear that nowadays, and like I envy it. Like, cause like y'all had these conversations about games, and I'm just like, man, I missed out on all that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a cool culture I didn't get I wasn't a part of.
But you just hit it later.
Right. But there's still like a whole variety of like MMOs and like I don't know anything about.
10 years from now, you'll look back on this and this will be old.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
RuneScape.
Okay.
I played RuneScape for like probably like 10 years of my life. Like I'm saying not 10 years in a row. I'm saying like I clocked in 10 years of playing. You know, like
Who was the first SoaR member / recruit?
oh, in this room?
No, like in general. Yeah, in general.
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do this. Who's your favorite SoaR member of all time?
Ooh, that's a good one as well.
Do they have like
All time.
Could they have transitioned?
Of all time.
Yeah, they can be not even in SoaR anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Can I have to pick two because they were a duo, and I'm gonna have a brain fart, but you're gonna help me because we talked about them. You talked about them last night. Aqua and Zooms. I love, like, what were they, like Norwegian? They just had like their style. They were like hybrids. They had like don't give a shit attitudes. They were back, especially back then when everybody was starting to get like dramatic. That like they didn't care. They just shat on everybody with high ass pings. Like I loved their vibes, and they just like one day were just like we're done with this, and just stopped and just like deuces. Yeah, just moved on.
All right, who's yours, Matt?
SoaR Strobe.
I was just
Yeah, bro, SoaR Strobe. Dude,
Where are you?
I can't get over this. Like he just ghosted us. I don't know. Does anyone know where SoaR Strobe
where's
is?
Strobe? Where are you?
Please.
I get worried. I do.
He's living. He's fine. Like we find out by like just looking into him. You know, like a little stalking shit. But, like,
private investigator situation.
yeah, we got some PIs like over at his house in New York. They're in Long Island right now, and they're just like making sure Casper's in check. You know, like it's fine. Yeah, it's good.
Next question.
Yep.
I gotta answer SoaR Banks real quick.
Yeah, honestly.
That was my boy.
Yeah, I love
He was probably the only SoaR kid I played with back in the day. It was Banks. That's my favorite.
He did do a lot too.
He did a lot for SoaR. He would tell me all the time about all the stuff that he did. So
Max got to say
I also
something.
have to say adapt too. We can't say straight without adapt, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. They
But
were like,
I was just like thinking like I'm like adapt's still there. I still like like see him sometimes and talk to him still. But like Strobe, how's this?
yeah,
It's the mystery.
they definitely made SoaR what it was like way back when and did such a good job of it. All right, next question.
I don't know why this question's here, but who is the thickest SoaR member?
Dre.
Of course.
Dre.
Oh, okay.
Well, like, so we.
I thought you were gonna say something like.
Okay, so we were talking about this. My whole thing for the long time was like thickest streamer. Before you even like, yeah, that was like my whole brand. But it's a different thick. See, like he's wagon thick, which he's got it. But like I was like, my thing. Hey, we already established this. Whoa! You acting shocked. You acting shocked now. But when that guy last night said that he wasn't thick, you were offended. He's like, you were offended
Because that's my
you got
dog.
involved. I know. So you know.
Hey, even if I don't believe it, I'm still gonna. That's my people.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm still gonna stand
but
by it. Even afterwards, I'm like, yo, you know, it's just for us. Like,
My whole brand is like just thick, like being a thick person overall. His whole thing is like having a wagon being thick. So, but
next,
well, this is gonna be fast for everybody. Dream car. What's your favorite or what's your dream car?
McLaren 720S.
Mine. I told you guys all this weekend, so you guys know I'm not bullshitting. It's a very simple guy. Demon Hellcat. That's it. Like keep it around like what 100K, like and just good sports
I need one
car.
more year.
Nissan GTR.
One more year. Cool. Yeah. I need.
I'm a big Mercedes fan, AMGs and like a Mercedes GT.
So far, everybody's got good.
That's good. That's good. Y'all got good taste. Yeah.
You guys might hate me for this. I am not a car guy.
That's okay. There's nice.
So I hate to be that guy. I would want a Tesla, honestly. Just how it's nice.
What type?
You know?
What type?
A little
What
lazy.
type?
Whatever, whichever one drives itself, so I can. That's it.
Okay.
All of them. You have to
I like
upgrade
that.
that. I don't know.
All right.
But yeah,
Drake,
nothing,
what do you want?
nothing crazy.
GTR. Okay. I already know you got something saucy over here. I already know. He got two whips outside.
No. All right.
He gonna need a car
within
carport.
reach. Like somehow in my lifetime, it could probably happen. Second gen Audi R8, newer facelift or Huracan. It's the same car, same V10. That's the within reach, and then the completely like bozo one would be like Ferrari F40, because that's just mean and that's an investment and it's disgusting.
It's not losing its value.
288 GTO.
Yeah, that's not losing its value.
Or like the mid tier between that, because those cars are all millies. The one between like the 300K to $1 million range would probably be like an Aventador SVJ.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
V12.
yeah,
They're not
yeah.
gonna make them no more. It's over.
Nah, that's
I
yeah.
love how you haven't like.
Yo, I think about this every day.
That's your
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
I think about this every day. Like, what happens?
That's like a side hustle.
Yeah.
I said
Here's
McLaren
the- open it
720S.
up.
Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
I'm gonna go cats.
I feel like it depends, right? I'm a dog person, right? But
It does depend.
But I am a dog person, right? But I also do love cats, love animals in general. But, right, like let's say if I'm getting like an indoor pet, obviously a cat, right? I'm a homebody for sure, you know what I'm saying? But dogs are a lot of work, bro. Dogs are a hell of
It's
a
an
lot
investment.
of work.
You have to be invested into it.
Exactly.
I think it's work that a lot of us need.
Yeah, no.
You want to change how you care about other things in life? Get a dog. It's good. Like it changes how you have emotions about things. How you like. You're like you can't just put like a dog. Like you said, you can't just put it off like I'll just do it later. Like then and that helps in other aspects. That puts it in perspective of like, okay, maybe I'll just do this now and get it out of the way. That's what I loved about having a dog. I've been trying to get one, but Megan don't want it inside. It's been a big. She wants a fenced in yard first, and I'm just like, but I want a puppy because I want my soft side to come out. I love dogs.
I would
Love them.
say dogs because I've had a cat and cats don't care about you, bro.
Yeah, that is very
They don't
true.
care. I don't care what anybody says. Like at the end of the day, you could give your cat to a new owner and they won't care. A
They
dog
won't care.
genuinely like will whine and yeah.
But I have something to counter you with. Have you met the Nathan?
I have.
The
And now
Nathan.
that is the only exception.
Nathan is a
My
Nathan
boy
is a
Nathan,
dog.
bro.
Cat. Nathan is a dog.
Everyone-
He's a dog.
everyone here
No,
has
that's a
officially
big
met the
ass
Nathan.
cat.
We're
That's
gonna
a
put
dog. That's a
picture
dog.
on
That's a
screen.
dog. That's a
We need a
dog.
picture on screen of just him like just being Schwady.
On the hand, right there.
Yeah.
I'm a cat guy. But to be fair, I do feel like cats are very much like a random luck of the draw sort of thing.
That is very
You
true.
either get like the best cat in the world. That's very rare. It's like loot boxes, right? That's like that's like a legendary prize right there.
If you know how to raise
Most of them are not so fun.
cats can be random, but if you know how to raise a dog, like 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get a good
wanna
dog
good.
cat.
Yeah.
That's
It's how they're raised.
You can, bad dogs.
can't
aren't-
really
bad
raise-
dogs aren't born; they're made.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
It is.
That was deep, bro.
That's very deep.
It actually came off the movie The Pest.
Oh, you should have just acted smart.
No, dude, no.
There's a movie that I think I made or something.
Oh,
You're
okay.
humble about that, yeah, whatever. But for me, I would say dogs. But I still haven't owned a dog. So I would have to also say cats right now because I've only ever owned cats.
That boy Nathan.
I'm in the middle, you know, like.
That boy Nathan different.
He's got so many names over the years. Like his original name is Jack, but like right now he's Nathan, and he's been the Nathan. Yeah. We need
We can have a
whole
10-minute
special
video just
dedicated
on
video for him,
Nathan.
you know?
It was crazy.
Yeah, bro. He's got like this little pouch that he runs around with that like fucking flies back and forth like a hammock on a really windy day. Bro, he's got like drug stash in there or something. Yeah, so.
That's one of my cats that was overweight when I was younger, and he was kind of like Nathan, like he was a dog cat, like funny and stuff. But yeah, he had lost a whole bunch of weight, so he had that little pouch, that little fanny pouch, little fanny pack.
So this one's for Dylan actually. When are you racing Tyreek Hill? We see pictures with you and Tyreek chilling, and like, I don't know, man. I saw you dusting some people the other night. I don't know, like I think Tyreek might
I
have
don't
a
know.
new opponent.
I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could even
I
race
was trying
him.
to boost him.
I've played him in basketball multiple times, and guarding that man is not easy. That dude is. I mean, he's arguably the fastest player in the NFL. One of the fastest.
Easily,
So, it's like-
yeah, he is,
Yeah. So
Kansas City, man. Yeah.
So as a
Tyreek
friend,
Hill,
as
best player
a
in the
friend,
world.
I couldn't embarrass myself like that. I could not.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You would lose.
Yeah, I would lose. Yeah.
Someone wrote this question down. You know, like, all right.
Last question, Dre. What is it?
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
Whoa.
At what point in your life did you consider going full time in this industry?
Start it off, Dre.
Big one.
Start it off.
I think at my point in my life when I decided like to go full time in this industry is like when I just hated my fucking job, bro. Like it's that simple. Like I literally just like was so unhappy at my previous job. I worked at a boat insurance place. I was selling boat insurance. Like people in the South, they're like, yee, You know what I'm saying? Those type of people. Yeah. And every day, bro, I just dreaded going to work. Like it just like I woke up and I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like I have like no passion for this. There's nothing for me. Like I'm so bored here. Like I feel like I have so much more to just like show the world, you know, and like to really like live up to who I want to be, you know? And so like once I kind of like made that decision and like that shit kind of like clicked for me, I was like, all right, I just can't do this no more. I'm just gonna like full send this shit. And like I had no plan B, and I still don't, you know what I'm saying? So if this doesn't work out, then
You're gonna be an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna be an actor.
Exactly. But like I feel like once like you make that decision where like you don't have a plan B, like it's like all or nothing, like it truly does like work out, you know? Like yeah, exactly.
Put
And
your
so
all into it. That shit will happen.
exactly. And so yeah, that was my point. I was just unhappy with like my previous job. So man's getting lightheaded. It's an intense question. There you go.
Yeah.
A lot of like me was like similar to you, and a lot of people don't know. I full sent early in 2012, like when my one channel was doing really good. Yeah, just keep it open for a breeze. I full sent early and like tried it with like no real plan. I was like, things are just doing good. Like I'm gonna take advantage of this. And it didn't really work out. So like then I was able to go back to my job for another couple years, which sucked. But it taught me the grit of like understanding of game plan, which is like first and foremost, like I'm gonna make this real serious. So like a big thing with me was having like learning and educating myself of a runway, which is like X amount of months worth of like your minimum rate of living. Yeah. So that way it's like if you need $1,000 a month to live, like I made sure I had like minimum $3,000 like set to the side, off to the side. Like make sure I'm not touching, just in case like if shit don't, you know, you don't want to be just last minute, you need to get a job in 2 weeks. So I made sure that, and then I made sure that I got to a point where I was making enough a month to replace, you know, the income. Yeah, no, that's the way to do it. And for me, it was like finally after like going back 2 years, I was getting to the point where I was losing money on graphic design gigs, which is what I started by going to work. And I was like, okay, I think now it's time. Like if I focus my time on this, I'm good to go. I got money saved up. I'm safe. I don't create that stress, and that's what hurts most creators. And I think we can all agree on that. It's like they full send too early, and the mentality has changed. You have to do it now. It's not fun anymore. It's your job, and that changes things. It does.
Okay, so I kind of want to answer it on like two different perspectives, because I assume that there's a lot of people that are probably under the age of 18 that watch these videos and things like that. So when I was doing gaming stuff, I was probably like 15, 16 years old. And I would say at that time, you have a lot of freedom, obviously, a lot of time to do things. So it's a good time to experiment and try things out. Now it's difficult because there's so many different avenues that you can do. But I would say if you are at that age, give it a shot for sure. But also don't let it consume you completely. You have to have that nice balance between it. I will say when I was doing it back then, I definitely had no balance. It was like Call of Duty all day, every day. I was extremely addicted, and it was not healthy. I will say that, like extremely unhealthy. So balance. You need a balance mentally and all that stuff. Make sure you're taking care of your mental, because it can get very bad out there. And then on the side as a photographer, so those who don't know, I do a lot of portrait photography and product photography and that sort of stuff. I feel like people always want to go full time with photography and creative stuff, but I just want people to know that it's not like it's okay to have a job, like a part-time job. I was working at the Apple store for 4 years before I didn't even go full time after I quit Apple. So I was doing full time at Apple, 40 hours a week. And on the 2 days off I had, I was going out and taking photos with my friends. And that's how I built my audience. And then over time, it just kept, building and that sort of stuff. It was just kind of like photography was my part-time job at that point in time. And I built an audience, and it got to the point where I felt like I could go full time. But it's hard. It's not easy. I'm still struggling with it. Going full time. It's hard to find work, especially with everything going on. So I guess don't be discouraged is the big thing, because I know a lot of people want to jump into it and they get real upset when they don't see instant success. I know for a lot of us, we were doing stuff for multiple years before.
10 years, decade.
Before we even got into this stuff. So just remind yourself that. Don't get yourself down.
Yeah, so my answer, like basically what he said, you just have to be realistic with yourself. Like You know, I feel like it has to come naturally. You have to treat it as, you know, something fun to do, because if you treat it as a job, it's never going to happen. And like
right off the rip.
yeah. So that's why, like, when it happened for me, I was working a different job full time in school, and then I was like, oh, this might work. And I feel like that's the way it has to go, because if you say, oh, I need to make this work, it has to be my job, it's you won't ever make it.
And my thing, so I know a lot of people that watch this nobody is like, well, I can't say nobody, but few people in the community, I feel like, were born into like big cities. A lot of people are just kind of stranded out in like random towns across the US. So like at the time in Tennessee, if you're a YouTuber, you're like probably one of like 5 people in the entire state that even know what YouTube is. So I desperately for like years was just waiting to like find people who wanted to create content with me, right? And so like this doesn't apply for everybody. Those who want to go it alone and do their own YouTube, by all means go for it. But like I personally strive when I can bounce off other people's work and energy. I knew to go full time as soon as I was in college. Mac was like, hey, we need an editor in the house. You should come down. And I immediately, like, I had my car packed on my last final at school, and I drove straight down. And I was like, all right.
Exhilarating vibe too.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like, I wasn't killing it. I mean, like, I would pull 20,000 views a month on my YouTube channel, and like with those CPMs post Adpocalypse, that was like $7, like dope. Yeah. But like, you know,
that's something I want to touch on too. Is like, in perspective too. Don't listen to every creator making it seem like we got to the point where we just like, yeah, like we were killing it, making bank. So it was like, of course we switch. Like for some people's points, like they might be at that point where it's like, if you put more time into it, you could make it work more, and you might have to sacrifice things. You might have to sell your car that you're paying too much on. You might have to downsize your baller ass house that you're currently having, or your apartment that you're currently renting out right now, if it's something that you actually do start building and you really, really want. But not all of us, especially me, like when I first left, I wasn't just balling out of control with like large payments and stuff. I managed my money well. I managed my debts. I used debts as investments. Yeah. You know, banking, learning, all that type of stuff.
Shout out to RBC.
That's I was making
literally
sure we were still with them. So yeah.
Amen. No, for sure, for sure.
So like, you know, utilizing all that, like we, you know, not all the time is it going to be perfect, but like you like Dylan said, you get that. It's a feeling, it's a vibe when you know it's something you're passionate about. You get to that point where you're like, you know, right now it's not making me the exact amount to have a lifestyle I want. But
that makes when you ball out feel that much better when you were eating ramen fucking noodles.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling you. And Mac was dropping all the leftover pizza on the stove for me. Thank you. I needed it. I'd eat crust. I don't care.
Playing Fortnite and I'd be like, yo, I had a long day playing this shit.
I'd buy bags of the Tyson chicken, and it helped me with my weight loss. It was a win-win. I just cooked chicken.
I put on weight.
And ramen noodles.
I put on weight.
But also, I will say, if you are going to start playing video games, do it now. This generation.
Yes.
There's 13-year-old millionaires from one game in a year. Like,
dude, my number one takeaway thing though, like regardless of whatever you want to do with this, and it goes for every other fucking aspect of life, anyone in any walk of life. It's all about balance. That's literally all it is. Don't put everything on one particular thing in your life. Like, spread it across. Like, if you want to be a YouTuber, also still focus on school. Still keep up with your friends. Still, like, you know, like be close with your family. You know what I mean? But like, you know, that's the number one thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't just have one girl. No. Hey, I'm sorry. No, I'm not like that. I'm actually a virgin.
No, I want to say one last thing. I just want to remind people, because I know it's a big deal nowadays, is that a good chunk of us all got into this before money was even a possibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's all about having fun. And like we've said multiple times, having that balance. But it's about having fun and enjoying it. And if it's stressing you out, I mean, take a break. Like, seriously, like, it shouldn't be.
And you see us, like, we are an org that's been doing this. Like, I've known Mac for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
And like, we've gone back and forth throughout the years. But it's like, also too, you don't have to do it alone. You can start things with groups of friends. Yeah. The Mob was a prime example. Even though they're not really together anymore, like,
or the fellas.
Yeah, the fellas. Like, so many opportunities to like these guys were saying, collaborate with other people. Like, you don't have to do this alone. It's times are changing. Content is going to continue to grow. Literally, just have fun and keep expanding.
Exactly. Thank you, Biggie. That's simple.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.